Good day, Natalie and Andrew and Nathan, Lydia and Mason. Good day, good day. All right, today we're going to be looking at this particular picture here. It is by Oskar Kokoschka. And I probably did not pronounce that very well, but that's my try at it. He was an Austrian gentleman, a painter, and it is called Dresden Neustadt III from Studio Window. So it is a picture of Dresden, Neustadt, and this is what that place looks like about today. So the water in the front, in the foreground, and in the background there is buildings. And so that's what is going on in the picture right here. This same thing is being done in what is called expressionism, because each one of the buildings is not have all of the detail of the original buildings. The windows are a little bit clearer, there is straighter lines, and those kind of things are happening. So this is a different view, a little bit different angle, but very similar place in that area. And like I said, he is doing expressionism. Here are three pictures. There's the first one and the second one and the third one, all of the gentlemen, Oskar Kokoschka, who painted the picture that we're going to be looking at. And each one of these are self-portraits. He painted them of himself, and they all have a similar style of expressionism. So that's not one that is done or was done very much at the time he did it. It's done a little bit more today. Okay, so let's look at this and let's review our vocabulary, and let's look at some of our vocabulary in some new words. So the first word we're going to look at is line, and we understand that there are many different kinds of line, and let's put this here so that we can see the vocabulary word and look at it at the same time. It's covering up a little bit of the sky, but that'll be okay. We'll be fine. All right, the first line is horizontal. That means it goes from side to side. And let's see, is there any of those lines in this picture? Do you see any? I see some. The top of our roofs have horizontal lines. That we see that, and every so often we see a horizontal line here and maybe a horizontal line there. So there's a number of horizontal lines in this picture. The next line vocabulary word is vertical. That means up and down. So are there any verticals? We're not seeing the top of this steeple. It's going vertically. The sides of our buildings are vertical. The sides of our windows are vertical. All right, let's bring the vocabulary word down a little bit. All right, next one, diagonal. That means it's going on an angle. It's going from up here down to there or something similar. Are there any diagonal lines in this particular picture? That's a little bit harder, but I can see some again on the roof going on a diagonal here and on a diagonal there. This path is diagonal this direction here, and we've got diagonal going over this way as well. So those are some lines, reviewing the word line and looking for some of those. Now let's look at a couple of others. Foreground. Now I don't know if we've talked about foreground before, but that is this green patch here in the beginning, in the front, in the first thing that you'd see. That is called foreground, all right? And the first thing you see in this particular picture here would be the water. So that's in the foreground. This next word is background. You see the green back here? That's in the back. That's behind. You see the foreground, the water. What's in the background? What's way in the back? So the foreground is the water. Way in the back we see a city. And the city was Dresden, if you would remember. That was called Dresden. And so because there is so much city, this painting is called a cityscape. There is some land to it and some water, but predominantly you're looking at city, so we're going to call it a cityscape. Okay? So now we're going to look at the vocabulary word color. And what did color mean? Color is a reflection of light off of an object. And so we're going to look at the colors in this particular picture. There's a lot of colors. And remember, the color wheel has all of our colors on there. This is just a very basic one, and it helps us to organize our colors. So the first colors we learned, remember, were the primary colors. What are they? Red, yes. Blue, and yellow. Very good. And then we had the secondary colors. And the secondary colors are, yes, orange, violet, and green. A lot of people say purple. I like to say violet. Orange, violet, and green. But I sometimes forget. So then we learned that we can compare those colors, and there was two different thoughts that we were looking at, the cool colors and the warm colors. Cool colors are the blues, the greens, the purples, and the warm colors are the oranges and the darker colors, the yellows and a little bit of purple there. So you have your darker fally colors here and your cooler bluey sky colors here. So how about this picture? What do you think? Is it mostly cool colors or warm colors? Well, let's look at those pictures again and see. Cool colors were the blues, the greens, the purples. The warm colors were the yellows, the oranges, a little bit of purples and reds. There is a little bit of both, isn't there? So if we're looking at the cool colors right here, the sky has got cool colors with the blues and the greens and some purples. It has the cool colors with the grass here and the, what do we got going right here? The water going on right there. So there's some cool colors going on there. You got a few of them scattered throughout in the buildings. Let's see what's about the warm colors now. There is the warm colors are these, and you can see in the sky the clouds have the yellows and up there. You see it in the beach area. You have your warm colors. In the houses, there are some warm colors. If we were going to say which is more, I might say that there's more cool colors, but this particular picture has both. So today what we're going to do is we are going to do another warm and cool color project, okay? That is what we're going to be studying. So let's get all of this put away and get ourselves a messy mat so that we don't make our surfaces dirty. I use a manila folder. I can fold that right up and throw it away. You can use newspaper, whatever you want to use. All right, so with this particular project, we're going to be using spirals. And this particular template will be on the online, so you can download this. And I made this particular template. I blew it up 425% so that it covered the whole page. So now we're talking about warm colors and cool colors, and we're going to be using chalk pastels. Chalk pastels are a little different than oil pastels. Today we're using chalk. The first three colors we're going to be looking at are these three, and they sort of go together, and they are cool colors, right? Yeah, they are. And then we're going to be using three other colors that I've chosen, and they are these. Now, when you're using chalk pastels, what you want to do is you want to take the paper wrappings off of your chalk pastels. Oh, that'll be fun, won't it? Yes, it will. And because of how we use those. So I will show you when we get to it in just a second. So first of all, I want to show you that when I chose these, I was looking at the color wheel here which gave me some shades or varieties. And when I chose these three here, they were very close to the blue, violet, blue shades and varieties. And when I chose these here, they were very close to the red, orange ones. So I was trying to get some that worked together. So when you choose your pastels, try and get them to work together. Be very close in color. All right. Mine has so many different colors that I could choose from, and you may not have quite so many, but you can use whichever ones that you have. If I was going to choose, I could choose this red and this orange, or maybe I could choose this yellow and this here and this color and have those go together. So you can just work at that and choose some that are really, really close. You're going to need to have these chalk pastels, but you're also going to need to have some cotton balls for this, and I'll explain why you're going to use cotton balls in a minute. Let's start with the blues and purples, and we'll do that one first. Okay, so like I said, you want to have your paper off because when you use the chalk pastel, you want it to lay flat. You're not going to use it like a color crayon and just use the tip of it. You're going to use it a little different. You want it to lay flat. And when you use this, you're going to, let me move it over because there is the line from on there that'll come right through. Okay, can you see it? All right, so what you're going to do, lay it flat like that, hold on to the top and push. You can push hard or soft. It doesn't really matter. And we're going to go around this spiral, okay, all the way, oops, come back, all the way around the spiral, just like that. And I want to put a little bit more of this in the edges, just because there is some extra spots there. Now I'm going to take the next color. No, let's take this one next. I'm going to take this color, I'm going to put it in the very, very same spot, okay? And on the edge, I'm going to go around, and I'm going to try and get a little bit less white, okay? Might have to hold on to your paper because it's going to go, oops, I'm going off the edge. Glad I have my messy mat. All right, there we go. And then we have one more. Why are we having three? Because we are blending these colors together, okay? And on this third one, we want to make sure we have all of the white done. All right, so now that's just the beginning, because this is where the cotton ball comes in. And we're going to take that cotton ball, and don't push hard on this one. We want to push lightly. And we're going to go around in circles with this one so that there's no white blotches anymore. Isn't that cool? I think it's pretty cool. All right, so we're going around a little bit here and then a little bit down there. All right, that's pretty cool. All right, it's all messy there, and my hands are messy. That's just the way it is with chalk pastels. Now, how can we get this so that the chalk pastel doesn't go everywhere? This is where Mom has to come in. Use some very cheap hairspray, and you just take it and you just spray it back and forth a little bit, not too much, and it will keep that so that it doesn't go everywhere. All right, now that was one. We're going to do this again. And this time, we're going to use those other colors that I showed you. All right? So, we're going to do it twice. This is so fun. All right, so this one here, I'm going to do the lightest one first. Last time I did the darkest one first. So, this is going to be interesting. A little bit extra on the bottom and the top. All right. And then the next one, starting in the middle, going around. And around and around and around we go, following the spiral. All right. And then again. And remember, this is the third one. So as we go around, if we see any big splotches of white, we want to make sure that we've got it covered. We're going to get a different cotton ball this time. Don't use the same one, the blue one. That would make a big, more of a mess than pretty. And we're going to go around and around. Is this not cool? Oh, it's cool with the way that they all just blend together. All right, so do it up here, a little down there, blend here. All right. All right, so now we have to decide which one do we want to have on the front and which one do we want to have on the back, because that's the way it is. We're going to have one on the front, one on the back. All right, so the last time I did it, because I did one of these already, I did this as the background, and this was the foreground. Oh, I forgot to spray this one. Well, let me spray this one real quick. There you go, just real quick. All right, so now I'm going to take this one, and what you need to do with this is you're going to need to cut it, right? We're going to do lines, like we talked about lines, but we don't want to have straight lines. And we want to keep them in order. We don't want to get them confused. That one's number 1, that one's number 2, this one's number 3, and we want to do 6 of them. 4, 5, 6, 7, sorry. All right, so we have 3 already. And there's 4. And then we're going to do 5. And then I get to make one more cut, and then I'm going to have 7 pieces. All right? Isn't that cool? Now we got it cut right in 7 pieces. We'll move this one back over here so you can see it. And I'm going to put this on top. Just like this. All of these pieces right on top of each other in the order that they were. Okay, we want to keep them in the order that they were because that makes the difference. After we get them all back where they were, we're going to take them and we are going to glue every other one on. Not every one. Every other one. I'm not going to put as much glue on here as you will do because I already did it once and I'm just going to do it to show you. Alright, so this one here, I want glue on this one and put it on the top. This one here I'm not going to put glue on. The next one I'm going to put glue on. Okay, so put that back. Alright, this one I'm not putting glue on. This one I'm going to put glue on. This one right here. Come on. And there we go, put it on there. Alright, this one I'm not going to put glue on, and this one I am. So you should have enough pieces so that your top one and your bottom one are glued on. That's why we have 7. And every other piece is going to be glued on. Now that's not a very good job of gluing because I've already done it once and I wanted to show it to you here. So I did every other one. So this one I did not glue on, this one I did not glue on, and this one I did not glue on. And so this is our finished product. And what we see here is a picture with the cool colors, the blues and the purples, and the warm colors. And I have browns and sort of oranges and yellows or whatever you want to look at that. So there's the 2 different warm and cool colors that are going back and forth in this particular picture. And so that's the project, and when you're all through with that, you can put a little bit more hairspray on it if you need to, just because you're going to be really, really messy. And don't forget to wash your hands. Alrighty, we'll see you next time. Have a good day.